Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to another episode of Busy Beader. My name is Caitlin, if you don't know me already, and I am so glad that you're here on my channel with me today. I am so excited about the jewelry set that we're going to get to make over the next couple of weeks. It is going to be based off of one of my favorite movies of all time and definitely my favorite holiday movie, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Jim Carrey's live action version. It's very nostalgic for me. I've loved it since I was a little girl. We watch it every year. So I am making a really simple, elegant, sparkly jewelry set that is going to be Grinch themed. And I am so excited to kind of take some fun concepts from the movies and turn them into something unique and share those with all of you. So the first thing that we're going to be making, the thing we're going to be making today, is a set of earrings that look like the Grinch holding the ornament. This is kind of the inspiration for that. And I think that these earrings are really cool because even if somebody doesn't quite get the reference on them, they just look like a little tree bough with an ornament hanging off of the end of it. So still adorable no matter what. And in the coming weeks, we are going to be making a necklace based off of the saying that his heart grew 3 sizes. And then after that, we're going to make a necklace that has a little crystal Grinch charm and then a little crystal Cindy Lou Who charm. You should definitely comment below and let me know what your favorite holiday movie is. If there's one in there that I haven't seen, I'll go give it a watch. Comment back to you down below there so that we can kind of spread the joy in this season. But before we jump into our earrings, please be sure to like and subscribe. That way you can join me for the rest of our projects. And be sure to check out my sponsor, Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. Everything that you see in these videos, all of it comes from them, and they can be your supplier for all your crafting needs as well. So check out their website. Link is in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on these earrings today. Step 1. As always, the very first thing that we're going to do is gather our supplies and our tools. The tools that you're going to need today are kind of the regular ones. We're going to need clippers and 2 sets of pliers. One of them does need to be round nose. Then you're going to need some 24 gauge green wire. Then for our findings, we're going to need some chain, some earring loops, 2 head pins. We're going to need a couple of bead spacers. I chose these pretty ones with the crystals in them, and a couple of jump rings. Then we're going to need these large red crystal passion circles, these smaller green crystal passion circles, a whole bunch of these green bicone crystal passion crystals, and then these little green seed. All right, let's go ahead and jump in once you get everything sorted. Step 2. The very first thing that we're going to do is make our ornament drop. So you are going to grab one of your head pins, and then you're going to slide one of these big red crystal passion beads through the head pin, and then we're going to top it with a little head spacer here, and then we're going to make a loop, and we're going to do that the way that we normally do that here. We're going to grab our round nose pliers, going to make a 90 to 45 degree angle somewhere in there, and then we're going to clip off our excess, making sure not to clip off too much. We're going to go to the end here and wrap it around. Once you have that made, we are going to go ahead and attach it to our piece of chain. So you're just going to find the end of your chain, and you're going to open up that loop that you just made, and you're going to slide the chain onto the loop. Once you have the chain attached, you're going to go ahead and close it. Since the chain is pretty small, make sure that you've got a secure connection on your loop. Then we are going to measure out how long we want this to dangle. Thinking just a little bit under an inch is good. So you're going to grab your clippers and give that a snip. And most important thing is that they just match ear to ear. It doesn't really matter how long they are. Now that we have this made, we are actually going to go ahead and set this to the side. We won't be using this until after we make our little Grinch hand, but we needed that done, so you're going to go ahead and set that to the side. Step 3. All right, and now to make our little Grinch hand, you are going to grab your green wire here, and you're going to get roughly a foot of it. You definitely don't need that much, but it's always better to have too much than too little. So just go ahead and grab a good chunk of that green wire. And the very first thing that we're going to do is put one of these green beads on. All right, and once we have our green bead on there, just make sure that your ends are relatively even on both sides here and kind of pinch them up like this. We're going to do a lot of maneuvering with this wire, so don't worry too much about what it looks like until we have it all made, and then you can move it around, make it look like a little Grinch hand. So now what we're going to do is add 3 of these bicone crystal passion beads, these little green ones, and then you're going to add 1 of your little seed beads. And you're going to let that fall all the way down to the bottom. Now you are going to take your wire and you're going to push it back through all of the bicone beads, but not through that seed bead. The seed bead is going to be what holds it all together there on the end. And then you're going to grab the end and pull. Now, before you pull tight, we're going to just maneuver everything so that it's down by the palm. So this round bead is going to be like the palm of the hand. So you're just going to gently pull, give it a tug, make sure that it's all nice and central. And you are going to repeat this whole process for this other wire right here, and meet me back here. Remember to be gentle, and you see these little loops on the end with the seed beads? Those are okay. You're gonna go ahead and leave those. Kind of adds a little bit of length, and that's part of why we're using green wire. That way you don't have to worry about it. So we have 2 fingers now. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna bring this wire up since it's facing down now. All right, so when we pull this up and over like that, we are gonna go ahead and make another finger. So you're gonna do the same process again. You're gonna add 3 of these bicone beads and 1 of the seed beads, and then you're gonna bypass the seed bead and go back through all 3 of the bicone crystal passion beads. And now we've got 3 fingers, so you're going to do the same with this wire here. So you're just gonna move it to where it's pointed up with all the rest of the fingers, and make another finger using the same process. And now you can kind of pick which one you feel like would be better. I think that this side is going to be a little bit better for the thumb. So I'm going to take this wire here, and you are just going to give it 1 quick wrap around this other finger. That way it'll stay where it's supposed to here. Now to make the thumb, we're just going to use 2 bicone beads instead of 3. So we're going to go 1, 2 here. And then, of course, our little seed bead to keep it all in place. I'm gonna let that fall to the bottom. And we're gonna go back through like this and go ahead and give that a pull until it is at the bottom there. And there we have a hand. It looks kind of silly, like a green alien hand, but we are going to finish it and make it look really nice. So first thing that we're gonna do here is take this green wire that you just used to make the thumb, and we're gonna go back through that palm bead just to kind of secure it and make sure everything stays in place. You can always grab your pliers and grab the end. Sometimes that helps it pull through a little easier. And then we're going to take this other wire that was on the other side of the hand by the pinky, and we're going to do the same thing where we pull it through. All right, and now that we have our little hand all formed here, we are going to bring our wires together like this, and you're going to grab 1 of them, and you're just going to wrap it real tight around the other. 2, 3 times here, doesn't quite matter. Make sure to give it a nice tug so they're all secure here. And then you are going to clip off that end. Grab your other pliers and tuck the end like we normally do. That way it can't get anybody. And then this other wire, we are going to make a loop. So you're going to grab your round nose pliers, bump it out a little bit, go a little bit farther down, and we're gonna wrap around here. That way we get the general shape of a loop before we clip. Then you're going to take your clippers and clip off that excess, and then you can fix your loop here. And I actually didn't quite clip enough, so I'm gonna do that. Make it a little shorter here, and then fix that up. Now, we're gonna do a little bit more with this loop in a little bit, but not quite yet, so ignore it for now. All right, and we want this to look like the little Grinch hand. The Grinch hand is doing this. So the first thing that we're gonna do is make this part with it. So we're going to hold it and kind of give the thumb and that pointer finger a little soft connection there. That's what we're going to attach our little ornament dangle to. So just get them close to each other. They don't have to be perfect. We'll make them behave in just a minute here. And then with the rest of the fingers, he's holding it like this. So you want those other fingers to kind of cascade upward. So you want that pinky to be the highest and give it a little curve at the last knuckle. And then the ring finger and the middle finger, and just play with it until you're fairly happy with it. So now that we have it a good shape here, we are going to grab one of our jump rings and we're going to open it up. And the first thing that we're going to do is slide on our chain. So we're going to go like this. So once we have our chain on, then where we have the little loops with the seed beads is where we're going to connect the jump ring. So you're going to put it through the pointer finger and then maneuvering it so that you can get it through the loop on the thumb as well. And when you've got it all connected, go ahead and close and make sure that the connection on that is secure. And once you've got that done, you might need to do a little bit more maneuvering. So I'm just gonna look at this from the profile view of how it will hang on the earring and just give it a little more movement. And then last but not least, we are going to take this loop that we made and we're just going to rotate it to where it sits up. That way when the earring is hanging off of right there, it's going to hang appropriately, if you can see that. Now we are going to take our earring loop and we are going to open it up and slide it through that loop at the top of our hand here and give it a close. And there we have one Grinch hand holding an ornament earring here. So you're going to repeat this whole process of making the hand with the wire and the crystals and making the ornament drop and then attaching everything for your second earring. So go ahead and do that and then meet me back here. And there we have our finished Grinch earrings. I hope that you had so much fun getting to make these with me today. We are going to be making the bracelet and the necklace in the next coming weeks as well, and those should be a lot of fun, so be sure to tune in. And there you have it, a little bit of wire work, and you have some really cute Grinch hand earrings holding the ornament, or, you know, they also look like tree boughs, so you can just roll with that too if you like this design, but don't want the Grinch part of it, that's cool. But I think that they're just darling, and we're gonna be using a lot of the same elements, a lot of the same crystals, the same chain, same kind of color scheme, so that our set is completely matching in the next couple of weeks. So please be sure to like and subscribe. That way you can tune in for the bracelet and the necklace in parts 2 and 3 coming up. And be sure to check out my sponsor, Fire Mountain Gems and Beads. They are what make all of this crafting fun possible, and they can be your supplier too. I hope you're having the best time getting to spend time with people that you love leading up to this holiday season, and I hope that it's just full of lots of joy for you and as little stress as possible. So happy holidays, and I will see you in the next one.